Hey there and welcome. Before we dive into today's dialogue, grab a notebook or open your notes app. We're about to unpack some powerful insights you won't want to miss. Ready? Let's get into it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into some really fascinating source material. It takes us way back, actually.
All the way back to ancient Babylon, through George S. Clason's classic, The Richest Man in Babylon.
Exactly. Published back in the 1920s, but the stories, the parables, they're set, 6,000 years ago?
Yeah, around that. And Babylon itself, often called the cradle of finance, so it's fitting.
And the sources we've got, they really reflect that. We have bits from the foreword, some key stories with characters like Arkad,
We
Dabasir.
have all the gold lender, Nomasir.
Yeah.
Plus a historical sketch of Babylon, too. Gives a context.
Right. So our mission really is to dig into these old tales and pull out the core wisdom. What did they figure out back then about getting money, keeping it, and making it grow?
And asking why advice from, thousands of years ago might actually still work today. It's a big claim.
It is a bold claim the sources make, isn't it? That the laws of money are universal, unchanging, like gravity.
Almost sounds too simple, maybe. But maybe the simple truths are the ones that last. Let's see what's really there.
Okay, so where do we start? What's the absolute foundation according to these texts?
Well, it starts with the lesson Arkad, the richest man, learned. And it's the same thing Dabasir used to, get out of slavery and debt. It's fundamental.
And it's that simple phrase, a part of all you earn is yours to keep.
That's it. Sounds obvious, maybe, but the source insists it's the non-negotiable first step.
Meaning you have to save at least a tenth?
Not less than 1/10,
Yeah.
of everything that comes in. Put it aside first.
I love the analogy they use, the egg merchant. He puts 10 eggs in his basket every morning.
Right, sells them, but only takes 9 out for his own use. Leaves one behind.
And eventually...
The basket overflows.
Yeah.
It's simple accumulation. It shows how even small, consistent saving builds up over time. It becomes something tangible.
Yeah, the source talks about the feeling of your purse starting to fatten, the weight of it, that physical feedback loop.
Mm-hmm. It's satisfying. And that feeling reinforces the habit.
And it's not about how much you make, is it? That's key.
Not at all. Doesn't matter if you earn a lot or little. The principle is the same. What separates the lean purse from the fat one is often just doing this. Keeping that first part.
Okay, so you're doing it. You're saving that tenth, maybe even more. Step 1, check. But how do you live on the rest? That seems like the hard part for a lot of people.
Right. And that brings us straight to the second cure the book talks about. Controlling your expenditures. Budgeting, basically.
Ah, the B word, budgeting. I can almost hear listeners groaning. Doesn't that feel restrictive? Like you can't enjoy anything. The student in the story felt that way.
Yeah, he did. But Arkad's point is interesting. He says, you make the budget. It's not imposed on you.
So you decide what's important.
Exactly. Its purpose isn't to punish you. It's to help your savings grow by making sure your money goes towards necessities, yes, but also enjoyable things and worthwhile desires that you choose.
Instead of just drifting away on random stuff you don't even remember buying.
Precisely. The source calls it a light that shows up the leaks in your purse. It helps you plug them.
So it's about control, not deprivation. Making conscious choices to reach your goals while still saving that tenth.
That's the idea. Disciplined control for definite and gratifying purposes down the line.
Okay, so you're saving, you're budgeting, you're living on the 9/10 or less. Now you've got this growing pile of savings, gold coins in the story. What next? You don't just bury it.
Definitely not. That's the third cure. Make your gold multiply. Save money just sitting there. Well, it's nice for a miser, maybe, but it doesn't build a fortune.
It needs a job.
It needs to go to work, exactly. Put it to labor, as the source says, so it reproduces. Like flocks in a field having lambs.
Your money should make more money.
And then that money should make more money, compounding. That's how Arkad's wealth really grew, not just from saving, but from his savings earning rental and those earnings earning more. It creates income streams.
Right. So, okay, you're ready to invest, make your gold multiply. But that sounds risky, which leads us to the next point.
It does. The fourth cure. Guard your treasures from loss. Because as your savings grow, they become, a target.
Misfortune loves a shining mark, the book says.
And Arkad learned this painfully, didn't he? His very first investment.
Oh yeah, the brickmaker, Asmor.
He gave all his savings to Asmor to buy jewels and tire. trusted his friend.
But Asmer knew bricks, not jewels. He got swindled, came back with worthless glass.
And Arkad lost everything. A brutal lesson.
So the rule is,
Seek advice from people who actually know what they're doing. People experienced in handling money profitably.
like Mathon, the gold lender. His stories really drive this home.
His token chest, each token a story of a loan. He emphasizes protecting the principal first, ensuring repayment is key, not just chasing the highest possible return.
He talks about bad loans, right? Like lending to friends just because they're friends, or to people with no experience.
Or people chasing impossible profits, or those who always blame fate instead of their own bad decisions. All examples of ignoring this rule.
And his big takeaway line.
Better a little caution than a great regret. It's so memorable.
So invest where your principal is safe, where you can get it back, and where it earns a fair return. Avoid stuff you don't understand.
And definitely avoid schemes that sound too good to be true, or advice from people without a track record. Protect that core saving.
Makes sense. Save, budget, invest wisely, protect your capital. Are there other cures mentioned?
Yes, a few more that round out the picture of financial well-being. The fifth is about your dwelling, making it a profitable investment. Owning your home.
Why is that important?
Security, stability. Over the long run, it can be a major asset and potentially cost less than renting. It's like building your own walls.
Ah, like the walls of Babylon itself. Protection.
Exactly. That theme of protection comes up again with the sixth cure, ensuring a future income. Planning for when you can't work, for old age, for your family if something happens to you.
Thinking long term.
The source even touches on ideas that sound like modern insurance or pensions, people pooling resources for mutual support, building financial walls for the future.
And the last one, the seventh cure.
Increasing your ability to earn. This is about investing in yourself. Sharpen your skills, learn more, become better at what you do.
Because the more you can earn,
The more you can save and invest, it accelerates the whole process. You can't climb higher if you don't prepare yourself for the climb.
Okay, so these are the principles, but knowing them isn't enough, right? The book talks a lot about action, about luck and opportunity.
Yeah, it pushes back against the idea that wealth is just about being lucky.
It's not random chance.
Not according to these sources. Opportunity favors the prepared. The person who has saved, who understands these principles, and who acts decisively when a good chance comes along.
It doesn't wait for procrastination.
No way. The story is about missed opportunities, the merchant who waited too long to buy the pearl, the guy who wouldn't check the sheep. They highlight this. Hesitation is the enemy.
Procrastination. The source calls it an internal enemy you have to conquer.
Because you can know all 7 cures, understand everything we've talked about, but if you don't act, save that first coin, make that budget, seize that opportunity, the knowledge is kind of useless.
It's knowledge plus action, consistent action.
Exactly. And this all gets wrapped up nicely in the 5 laws of gold.
Ah, right. Through Nomasir's story, Arkad's son, he gets the laws, ignores them, loses everything.
And then finally applies them and succeeds. His journey shows both how easy it is to fail if you ignore the wisdom and how powerful it is if you follow it.
Can you recap those 5 laws quickly? They seem to pull it all together.
Sure, basically. 1, save at least a tenth. Gold comes gladly to the saver.
Okay.
2, put that saved gold to work, make it multiply. It's a diligent worker.
Invest. Got it.
3, protect it by taking advice only from wise, experienced people. Gold clings to the cautious owner.
Seek good counsel.
4, don't invest in things you don't understand or that experts wouldn't approve of. Gold slips away otherwise.
Know your stuff, or trust those who do.
And 5, avoid chasing impossible returns, following schemers, or trusting your own inexperience. Gold flees those situations.
Makes sense. Don't be greedy or foolish.
Nomasir's story really shows that wealth built quickly and foolishly disappears just as fast. Real wealth, the kind that lasts, it comes gradually. It's built on knowledge and persistent purpose.
And the history part of the sources, it reminds us Babylon was real. They actually pioneered things like contracts, property rights.
Yeah, they were innovators in finance and trade. The fact that these principles were recorded on clay tablets that survived thousands of years is pretty amazing. It suggests they tapped into something fundamental about how money works.
And Babylon's story, coming back from slavery by just applying the simple plan: save, live on less, pay debts.
It's maybe the most powerful example. He wasn't some genius investor, he just followed the plan with, as the book says, unflinching purpose. And it worked. Even archaeologists in the 1920s found people using this same ancient plan for their debts.
So the power isn't in some complex secret, it's in understanding these basic rules and sticking to them.
That's the core message, really. Consistency and discipline applied to simple, timeless principles.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive into the richest man in Babylon, the wisdom distilled here seems to be: save consistently, control your spending through a plan, make your savings earn more under wise guidance, protect what you have fiercely, invest in your own ability to earn, plan for the future, and crucially, act. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah, they're presented not as, abstract ideas, but as practical steps anyone can take toward financial security and progress. Timeless steps.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener. If these fundamental laws really are timeless, as unchanging as gravity, surviving from ancient Babylon to today, what does that suggest about our own financial challenges now? Are we maybe overcomplicating things, searching for complex answers when simple truths are right there? What would it actually mean for you to apply the caution of Mathon or the unflinching purpose of Arcad in your own life? Starting now.
Definitely something to think about.
We hope today's dialogue sparked something valuable for you. If it did, don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and share. Let's spread the insight so others can grow with us too. Until next time, keep diving deep.